I can hear my staff saying, uh-oh, he took his jacket off. He's just getting on up. That's right. Now, phase two, the reason I'm spending more time on the economic growth plan is because that's our biggest issue next to foreign policy. Phase two, that's going to, now this first set of ideas that I just laid out, I'm going to ask Congress to send me that legislation within the first 90 days of my administration. And then get it passed within the first 90 days. We need an immediate boost to this economy. We don't need any more excuses. We don't need any more blame game. We need some things that are going to move this economy. Now, the liberals will be quick to say, well, how are you going to pay for it? It pays for itself. The liberals have lied to the American public for decades about how tax rates work. All you have to do is look at the history of the 60s when John F. Kennedy was able to make some major changes. All you have to do is look at when Ronald Reagan was president, and he was able to get some major tax changes put in. And that way we had 2 of the decades of the greatest increase in tax revenue that we've had in the last 70 years. It works if you do it the right way. It's not going to work the right way if you just take a little bitty, teeny-weeny amount and say, well, we lower taxes and nothing happened. No. You have to do it the right way in order for it to have an impact. Phase 2 of my economic growth plan is to totally replace the tax code with the fair tax. Yeah! Tax code mess has been around since 1913. And all it has done is it has grown into this monstrosity where the politicians and the bureaucrats try to pick winners and losers. They use it to manipulate segments of the economy. They use it to manipulate different people. They use it to try and spur class warfare. That's right. With the tax code. It needs to be totally replaced with the fair tax. Now, when I put this idea on the table and I'm inside the Beltway, I don't get the reaction that I got from you all. You're probably not surprised. I've never seen so much skepticism before in my life. So I had a reporter stand up and say, well, Mr. Cain, that all sounds well and good. I said, well, thank you. He said, but you can't get that done. I said, what do you mean I can't get it done? Phase 1 or phase 2? He said, you can't get either one of those done. Why? Well, you don't know how Washington works. Yes, I do. It doesn't. It does not work. And here's one of my guiding principles. When the people understand it, they will support it and demand it. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. It was former Senator Eric Dirksen. Former Senator Eric Dirksen. He popularized the statement, when they feel the heat, they will see the light. Now here's how this will work. My job is to get Congress to draft the legislation and get it on my desk. I believe that we can do that. But then if they get stubborn and obstinate, you're going to understand it and you're going to be the heat. We're going to melt the phone lines, melt the emails, melt standing outside the halls of Congress. The people will be the heat because the people are still in charge of this country, not the politicians and the bureaucrats. So you all are going to have to stay active and help me get elected, and you're going to have to stay involved after I get elected. Because some of them are going to fall into business as usual once they get to D.C. and drink the water. I'm not drinking the D.C. water. The Kool-Aid or the water, I'm not drinking it. I'm going to have my own water to come in so they don't trick me. Put something fancy in the water and I start talking like them. We need comprehensive immigration reform. That's Washington speak for they don't know what to do. If I start sounding like that, my Chief of Staff has already promised me he's going to slap me back into my senses. Here's what we need to do on immigration. First, let me say, my approach to problem solving, my approach to getting stuff done is just like every successful business person. You might use different words. It starts with working on the right problem. Surrounding yourself with the right people. And putting together the right plans. If you're working on the right problem, and you got good people around you, and you put together the right plans, then you execute and you get things done. The reason nothing has been done on immigration is because they haven't identified the right problem. It's not one. It's four. We got to work on all four problems at the same time. Number one, secure the border for real. For real. Number two, promote the path to citizenship that's already here. We don't need a new path to citizenship. We already have one. Now, we do need to clean up the bureaucracy and the bureaucrats that are making it cumbersome. Number three, we clean up the bureaucracy such that the process works. Number three, enforce the laws that are already on the books relative to immigration. Enforce the law. Isn't that common sense? Yes. And number four, what do you do about the illegals that are already here? Empower the states to decide what they want to do to enforce the laws, because the federal government won't do it. The federal government can't do it. They cannot micromanage that problem. I wouldn't have sent Arizona a lawsuit. I would have sent them a medal for trying to basically protect themselves.